Hello, my name is Joe Brown and I teach middle school science at Annandale Middle School. And today we're going to take a look at Tpack in the Annandale Middle School classroom. So what is it? It's a marrying of technology, pedagogy, and content all into one, into kind of making a dynamic lesson that is productive and effective for students. But let's dive into each of these individual parts. First, we have content knowledge. That's just the teacher's knowledge in their subject they're teaching. We want to make sure that we know it and understand it, whether we're teaching math, science, art, or music. We want to make sure that we have a good in-depth knowledge in that subject. Pedagogical knowledge. We're all teachers. We've all gone through training, but we want to make sure that we are using best practice to help teach students at their level, to make sure that they're understanding what we want them to do within our lessons. Technology knowledge. This has kind of been pushed on to a lot of teachers over the last year and a half, but just having a knowledge of how to use technology as a resource and how can we better use that. Now, you can combine some of these together. The first one is technological content knowledge. That is, how can we use technology to help our subject, and how can we help learning continue within our subject. Next one is technological pedagogical knowledge, TPK. And how can we use technology to influence our learning? How can we use that to help learning continue? Pedagogical content knowledge, PCK, is the best practices within each of your contents. What's the best practice to teach art, or to teach music, or how to teach math more effectively? Having that knowledge is kind of where we're looking at it. So now we have kind of an understanding of some of those basic concepts. And then Tpack is combining all of those into one. Why do we want to use this framework? I found this quote from George Couros. Technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. And that just kind of resonates with me, is we're still going to have great teachers out there, and we're going to have people that have an in-depth knowledge of technology. Now it's marrying those together to transform our students and to help them become the best that we can, and help them become the best that they can be. Tpack is effective. It's not just those individual parts, but it's a universal marriage working together towards that one goal. It is very productive. When teachers are faced with questions in how to incorporate technology, this helps them be productive with that. And it is innovative. It challenges your creativity, and it challenges the status quo way of teaching, and kind of gets you thinking outside the box, and to help students become the best they can be. So how do I use it in my classroom? I kind of took a look at our water unit that we do, and I'm going to connect all of those components together. So the content, the students needed to have a knowledge of the water cycle. How does that work? The different stages that it can be in. We also needed to have a knowledge of bodies of water, whether that be fresh water or salt water, or wetlands, and just groundwater itself. How did I teach that? Is the pedagogical knowledge. I chunked it. I'm big on chunking it, and to kind of help just make things a little bit smaller and build upon those, and use that building blocks approach in my previous lessons. Technology knowledge, we use Chromebooks to look up some of that information. We use Smartboard as our projector purposes, and we showed them some information that way. Content knowledge. So shared videos with them that allowed them to see different parts of a wetland or a different body of water that, unfortunately, we do not have a money tree right now, so we can't go and physically take a field trip to an ocean to see what's going on there. But we have websites and videos to take us there. Live demonstrations. We did in labs. We did a porosity lab just to see how much water would fill in different substances. Luckily enough, where we're at, we are within a mile of a lake, so we're able to walk down to the lake within our town, and we could dig a hole and we could find the water table, and we talked about why that is. And we had them research Minnesota issues. Our technological content knowledge, we have an online textbook that we use, so they were able to read that. We also shared out audio versions of that, so those students that reading can impact their learning. We provided that. We have different videos of me teaching, to some of those at-home learners that we have, and just videos of going to different places that we're not able to. We also used many different websites that connected to what we were talking about, building into more of this Minnesota, where we're looking at it at the Minnesota level. Our TPK, I use Google Classroom as a hub, where I posted materials for them, and this allowed them to access that at any time to continue their knowledge, and allowed them to become very independent with it. And then our culmination of all this is we had students choose a water issue that's going on in Minnesota and kind of dive into it, and what is it, and what causes it, how does it impact the environment, how can it impact humans, and what are some possible solutions to help with that. And they got to choose how they wanted to present that. Did they want to record a video? Did they want to make a poster? Did they want to write a paper? We kind of let them go whichever way they were most comfortable with, and definitely sparked a lot of creativity with it. And their knowledge on that topic, they were able to apply that, and it was great to see how much they really actually dove into it with that. So that's how I'm using it in my classroom. How do we communicate it at home? This is a great tool to use, but if we do not have support at home as well, it is going to kind of fall by the wayside. So what we have is we have this website that will kind of talk through that. So you can go to that. We'll share this out with our parents. It kind of talks what is Tpack. It'll have a couple videos to kind of show them some different information. We give them this guide to kind of help spark some of those conversations at home, and maybe help them and the students understand why we're doing with that. And then just to kind of get some feedback, we put a form on there where they can ask some questions. And then our department will take care of that, answering those and reaching out to those parents on that. So that's our website that we'll use to help communicate that to parents. And then here's the Works Cited page of what I used for my resources. I thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.